Hello my crafty friends, it's Andrea from Prairie Sky Paper Crafts. Today we are having fun with vellum paper, rubbing alcohol, and Stampin Blends. I've created a few samples and I'm going to show you how quick and easy it is, as well as a couple of different ways that you can apply the blends in different patterns for different looks. So let's get started. I've already gone through and pulled out my colors that I wanted to use today. Now I've got them grouped in color groups, but you can do it any way that you like. I personally found that the darker blends worked a little bit better. It was a little bit more vibrant, but it also depends on how much rubbing alcohol you use. Now you can use one of the Stampin' Up mini spritzers. I happened to find this one at the dollar store, and it's just easier to, and apparently bling goes everywhere. It was just easier to use a bigger container because I didn't need to keep refilling it. So I've already got my vellum sheets cut. They're 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. You'll get 4 pieces out of one sheet. So we're just going to go ahead and start playing. Now, the first thing that I'm going to do is just one solid go with the color. This one I'm going to use the dark Blackberry Bliss, and I'm going to use the brush end instead of the writing end, or the fine tip end, just because I want to coat it quickly and in one piece. Now I've just got a piece of scrap paper underneath to protect my work surface because blends don't really clean up all that well. You can clean them up with alcohol, but they do tend to kind of go anywhere. Now I don't really care if you see crossover marks or whatever, because we're going to blend it anyway. So I'm just going to close that. You want to always hear that click when you close your blends so that you know that they're not going to dry out. I'm not sure why I'm shaking it. I always shake everything before I apply the liquid. Now I've also got a very well-loved piece of paper towel here. I'm just going to use it underneath my piece to catch any of the overspray. Actually, I'm just going to open it up. I used this one for my chalk video earlier this week on my Facebook page. So now we're just going to spritz. And you can see that as soon as the alcohol hits, it starts to move the ink a little bit. Now you can either set this off to the side so that it can dry, or if you want to dry it a little bit faster, you can use your heat tool. Now, if you use your heat tool, it will kind of spread things around a little bit. I also suggest a well-ventilated space because if you're doing a lot, it can get a little stinky. So I'm just going to do a quick little apply, and then you can see that it's drying super fast. And then if you're not, whoops, paper trimmer just tipped over. If you're not super in love with it, you can just keep adding until you're pleased with your result. And you can see that the alcohol is starting to move and to spread a little. Now, the more alcohol you apply, the lighter it will get. So I'm just going to do one little spritz right across the top, and then I'm going to blow it so that it goes down. Kind of looks a little bit like a starburst. And you want to be careful if you're using your heat tool to dry it, not to get too close, because the vellum can warp and you can actually burn a hole into it. So that's method number 1. Now for the second go, I'm going to do sort of a beachy theme. It's chilly here right now. We actually had a very severe frost the other night. And next week is supposed to start to feel a little bit more summery with 20-something degree temperatures. So again, I'm going to do my colors, but I'm going to do it kind of in an arc. I'm going to do kind of an ocean-y color. So this one is the dark crumb cake. Now I'm going to use bronze and do sort of a and then I'm going to use the Bermuda Bay, actually. I think I've grabbed the wrong one. I have the light one here. Not sure where my dark Bermuda Bay is, so we'll just go with what we've got. Okay, and then we'll just apply our alcohol again. And if you wanted to, you can also tilt your paper to get the blends to move. I'm going to do a circular motion with my heat tool this time. And now I think I kind of want it a little bit more blended. So I'm going to bring in my sponge. And very lightly, you can use a sponge, a piece of paper towel, really anything that you would like to kind of blend it. And I'm just going to very lightly tap the surface. It's going to blend the color and move it around a little. Okay, and then I'm just going to dab it with some heat again. All right, so we've got our kind of beachy water. Add a little bit more just here to kind of blur that line just a little bit. And then move it around again. You can also do big areas of color. I'm just going to do sort of a red and orange. This one I'm using dark cherry cobbler. I've got dark calypso coral, dark real red, and pumpkin pie. So we're going to do sort of blotches with this one. Calypso coral. And I'm just being kind of random with where I'm putting my color. We'll do some calypso coral up here a bit, and maybe a bit here, and finish it with the pumpkin pie down below. And then I'm going to do a little bit of a different technique. I'm actually going to drip alcohol first, just kind of splotch it around wherever. And you can see it's starting to move some of the ink color. Oops. And then you can be a little bit more precise too by just dabbing it. So this gives it more of a blending tool look. And as the paper's starting to curl, it'll take it off to the side too, which I think is really kind of pretty. So you can add as much or as little as you want to different areas. So if you want your color a little bit more intense, don't put as much or any at all, really. And then you can also, I forgot to grab a straw, but instead of using your heat tool, you can use your breath in a targeted shape to blow your design whichever way you want. So you can kind of do the same effect with your heat tool. I really love the way that one looks. So this one was just color splotches with the ink or the alcohol flicked at it. And then I'm going to do one last one. One of my friends really loves purple tones, so I'm going to be using this one for her. I'm going to try something. I just had an idea pop into my head, so bear with me. I'm going to do sort of circular patterns or rounded patterns anyway with this one. And then I'm going to try running it and see how that goes. I love doing videos like this where I'm just kind of on the fly experimenting, because I think a lot of people do that in their craft room, or at least I do. And I like to show in real time what happens and any ideas that pop up. I'm just going to finish that one. Now, because I want to, I'm just going to grab a paper pumpkin box here. Move my blends out of the way. Oops. So I'm going to prop this up a little bit because I want it to run. Grab a couple of stamp sets. I think that'll be a little bit more stable. I don't know. Anybody else keep their stamp sets close at hand when they're working? Okay, I want to make sure that you can still see what's going on. I've got about, I don't know, 6 or 8 sets at my desk right now. Okay. Make sure you can still see that. So what I'm going to do is spray at the top and then just kind of let it run down and see what kind of an effect we get with that one. Ooh, I really like that. And actually, I'm going to hit it with some heat before it gets all the way down. So I'm going to blow some of the air up. All right. Actually, that's kind of cool too. All right, so let me know what you think about this technique and the different ways that I've used. And also, if you have done any of the alcohol blend technique and what your favorite way to do it is, you can comment down below. You can send me a message on my Facebook page, which is Prairie Sky Paper Crafts. And don't forget to hit subscribe so every time a new video is posted, you'll get notification. Now, I'm going to finish these cards because I have a few ideas. I'm going to do some heat embossing and a couple of other things. So as soon as they are finished, I will pop them up onto my Facebook page, and I'll also put them on my Pinterest account as well, so that if you don't do Facebook, you can go check them out there, and the link will be down below. If you have any questions, please fire them off my way. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate your support, and have a very great day.